4. So after 2 weeks of working on your data, I hope you get an appreciation for some of the real challenges that come with trying to find and manage data sets. And data set management and understanding of how data works is a ongoing challenge for people who are probably more into the mechanics of it all, meaning data analysis or data base administrators, to people who are trying to use the data, such as business people and people who are trying to solve problems with data. So you're right in the middle of that, using these to create some sort of a business context or a business awareness. And the activities that I wanted you to go through were hopefully all around trying to make sure that you were looking critically and trying your best to understand the data types and the context that you found from another place and now are trying to make your own. So that concept is really important. From the beginning, we were just trying to jumpstart a data model because it's hard to come up with one from scratch. And the idea of having it be interesting is just so that you can feel confident to make changes in it if you need to. So I think you're all along your way with that. Many people are still pivoting. Things are going to probably become more evident as we move forward about why you would need to pivot your data set to something a little bit more usable for the exercises that we've got happening over the next week or so. So we are going to leave this behind. I'm going to grade your submissions probably tonight, just to give you feedback. If you are in need of changing your data set out, you know the process now. It can come from a third party. I still am a little puzzled people don't take more advantage of the marketplace on Airtable, because there's plenty of data sources there to just start with, especially if you're not particularly passionate about one thing or the other. But I will always say that having a database that revolves around some sort of product or thing is pretty easy, because qualitative data is very natural to that world. If you have something that revolves more around really huge topics, a couple people are talking about cities, those are really hard topics to model in a table full of fields. Just to let you know, you can only get so far before you need to branch out into more and more fields, which will actually come about in this class toward the end. We'll get into what's called metadata, or data about data, much later in the course. Right now we want this core data. And if anyone has ever heard the phrase garbage in, garbage out, now you know why this is kind of a challenge, because if your data is not that interesting or good, it doesn't really matter what you build on top of it. It's still not going to be that good. And we're trying to avoid that at all costs. So a lot of interactions this week. There were a couple of tricks that were interesting to me. Pardon me, I'm zooming in here. One of which is the idea of sorting. Right now, I actually there's a particular field or an attribute here to this group that says whenever you put something in here, sort it. And it's just interesting to me. This is probably another meta lesson about data, which is whenever you are, someone even locked it, okay. But whenever you have an idea about how to make something easier, there will always be an exception. Don't know exactly why that is, but if I unlock this, let's see, I want to lock this. Sorry, my goal was to just show this is supposed to go in here and it will sort itself. And it sort of works. Yeah, it does work. Okay. So this is, in a sense, me trying to add order to chaos. And still chaos happens. I don't know why. Maybe people felt like this second row is a good idea. Who knows? Or something happened that made them change. So remember, some of your data may be reactions to different problems that you may not understand. I think a lot of people had these maybe yes, no fields. Hey, is this or that? You know, those are usually there to serve as a kind of a one-time quick fix for trying to get a certain value out of your data. So you'll see a lot of those, and hopefully at this point you'll start to recognize some of the tricks people use in databases. And as to things that you guys shared,